Wood is a versatile material that offers us both well-being and a way to accelerate the green transition when used in a sustainable manner.
As a material, it can provide well-being because wood is considered as natural material, and we as humans through the evolution have developed in a way that we appreciate natural elements in our environment.
However, more science-based evidence is needed on the complex relations between the use of wood, consumer preferences, and the impact on well-being.
Most of the studies that originally were done related to wood construction were related to supply, how to supply these products to the markets. But important from the perspective of market development, the other side of the coin is the demand, and consumers are the end users in all buildings.
In a recent research project, PuuSensei, the user preferences of different wood materials were studied using a gamified device that was on display at the Heureka Science Center and Lusto Forest Museum.
People can feel, people can see the wood, different wood materials, and also reference materials. And they can ask themselves that, what do I like? And then also they could compare their own choices to other visitors' choices. So it was kind of an interactive, playful device, exhibit, that was running for several years. So in addition to this kind of a dissemination approach, we could also collect data from people's wood preferences.
There were 32 pairs of materials, and some wood materials, for example pine and oak, they were compared with different wood species and different materials. And then there were some materials, for example concrete and tile, which were only present in one comparison. So Tuula's group made the test setup in cooperation with experts of statistical analysis.
Over 20,000 people of all ages played the PuuSensei device, offering the researchers an unprecedented amount of data.
Now we are collecting that kind of statistically valid part of that big data, and it seems that we have 5,000 answers that are full, so it's really, really big compared to many other studies done earlier.
Preliminary results already indicate some patterns in preferences.
For example, non-wooden materials, they kind of lost the competition between wood. I mean, if there was comparison between oak and concrete and oak and tile, and oak was clearly preferred material in both comparisons.
In most cases, the visual assessment did not affect the choices made, with a few exceptions.
There was pine and walnut. Walnut is dark brown wood species, and pine is, well, it's light brownish. And there is a significant difference in the density of these two species. And there, when people did not see, they chose pine. It's lighter species, pine. And for example, the thermal properties, it feels warmer. But when only visual assessment was used, then that walnut was chosen.
When we can use sense of sight or sense of touch, we can prefer a little bit different materials. So based on the touching, people usually preferred very smooth surfaces and also the surfaces that were, for example, oiled. So there is this kind of silky touch. And of course, wood as a material that has low thermal conductivity feels warm, for example, against concrete or tile. And it was also interesting to find out that there were no differences between male and female about the preferences in general.
In addition to exploring consumer preferences, the large number of participants enabled a more detailed study of the antimicrobial properties of different surfaces. Researchers found that there were significant differences in dry and moist conditions. The results suggest that treated surfaces accumulate less bacteria. On the other hand, in humid conditions, the antimicrobial components in untreated wood seem to be activated.
So there are these mechanisms that it's kind of passive drying of the bacteria, and In contrary to dry contamination by dry hands, we could see that in moist contamination, the non-treated wood was actually more antibacterial in many cases than treated wood.
In addition to exploring the new data available, Uske and her team are already looking ahead and identifying future research questions, such as the long-term impact of wood on human well-being.
Communication on the properties of wood products and forest management practices and these types are needed. Not only a kind of a one-sided information delivery, but really listening to the end users and also correct maybe the misunderstandings that they may have. So communication is the key.
And I think one of the things to study further is also to ask people that what would they select for certain use. If we are choosing material, for example, furniture or flooring or wall or whatever, that might also change how people select.
The PuuSensei project managed to reach a large audience and inform us about wood materials in an innovative way. The results and subsequent research will contribute to our understanding of the overall context, drivers, and impacts of sustainable wood use.